Alright guys, today we're going to be unboxing the iPhone 12 mini. This is the iPhone that I was really anticipating because I really like the 12 mini, but this iPhone is supposed to solve the problems I had with the 12 mini. The problems I had were that the battery life wasn't that great, and also the notch I thought was way too big. So Apple fixed two of those issues. Battery life is supposedly going to be much better on this 13 mini, and also the notch got smaller, so maybe it'll be like noticeable on this display. So let's go ahead and unbox this real quick. And oh yeah, there's another tab right here. So this is the blue one that is very dark blue. It's not like the 13. So the 13 has this super light blue, and this is almost like blueberry blue, I guess. But man, is this small. Man, I'm telling you, if the notch really doesn't bother me on this one, I really been looking for a compact phone to go along with my 7 Pro, hopefully. So I'm very excited to use this. You know, full glass and metal design, very premium. It feels so solid in the hand. So, you know, these are like rare compact. They just don't make compact phones. In the box, we have our Apple stickers, or Apple sticker. Of course, no charger brick. And then we have our charging cable there. Alright, so let's go over 5 reasons why I think you should buy this phone if you're a compact smartphone lover. One is because of course, the size. That's my favorite thing about this phone. Your modern day phone is going to be massive. Look at the Pixel 6 Pro here. Look how big it is compared to the at 6.8 inches. Look, I can put the whole phone in the screen. It is just massive. Look at all that space I have left over. So phones are usually around 6.8, 6.9 inches. They're just massive phones. This phone is at 5.4 inches for the screen. Apple did shrink down the notch, which you can kind of barely tell. Even on this one, I thought it would be more noticeable, but it's not really. You can barely tell. So it shrunk 20%. So I believe Apple's going to get rid of the notch. I think the iPhone 14, but it doesn't really bother people apparently. So you get used to it, honestly. But yeah, so the screen size on here is just extremely comfortable, and overall this is just a really nice screen because of the screen size is really nice because you don't have to like shimmy the phone like on bigger phones. You know, when you do that whole shimmy thing. For people with smaller hands, you'll really like this screen size. And overall, the display, it's a Super Retina XDR OLED display, HDR10, 1080p, 476 for the PPI. Extremely sharp panel here. Text and everything, icons, everything looks super nice on here. So this phone doesn't have a ton of competition. I think the Asus Zenfone 8, a lot of the more compact phones are you know, kind of older, like the S10e, which is still a great buy. But if you compare it to not even the you know, the 13 Pro here, it's still it's smaller. It makes the 13 Pro look big, but this is actually not a big phone at all. It's only 6.1 inches. So just to give you a perspective of just how small this phone is, and it's very lightweight as well too. So super lightweight. You put it in your pocket, you really don't feel it. And also premium design, so it does still feel super solid on here. Glass and metal design on here. It is IP68 dust and water resistant as well. And overall this feels super solid. You got the big cameras on here as well too here. Alright, so what about gaming on this phone? That is one of my favorite things. Wow. That's one of my favorite things to do running iOS 15, the Apple A15 chip. We also have on here 128 gigs of internal storage and 4 gigs of RAM. This phone has been nothing but speedy. Like, it has just been a pleasant to use. It just does not lag. So I've been having a good time. As far as your battery life, this phone has been phenomenal. I do want to talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so it just doesn't get hot, and this A15 chip, it is a beast. So just it feels like the phone is just running extremely smooth. Now I will go ahead and let me go ahead and run this Geek Bitch score. I'll give you a fresh score on what we will get here. So here are the Geekbench scores here, just random fresh. And yeah, this phone is just going to be crazy with performance. Now, I will say that it kind of sucks that this phone did not get the high refresh rate, the 90 hertz at least. I can see not giving it 120 hertz to upsell you on the pros. But yeah, so I really wish this phone had like a 90 hertz. It really would be like absolute perfect device here. But it does not. But it still feels smooth. It's just like once you do try 120 hertz on the 13 Pro, you will notice it. Just everything just not being as smooth as those high refresh rate phones. But overall performance is just really awesome on this device. Now next are the cameras. So the 13 mini does have the same flagship cameras that you would pretty much see in the regular 13 and the 13 Pro, even though it's missing you know, that lens, the telephoto lens, I believe, and the macro lens. So they could have really thrown the macro lens in there, because I believe the 13 Pro uses the ultra wide as a macro lens, but this one is not capable of doing that. It does have the cinematic mode on here, but the photos on here are flagship quality photos. They do an excellent job in low light, fantastic job in daylight, highly detailed photos, 12 megapixel standard, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 4K video, 24, 30, or 60 FPS, with a 12 megapixel selfie cam that shoots in 4K, 24, 25, 30, and 60 FPS. Just fantastic shots here. Like I said, flagship quality photos. You're not getting, you know, anything dialed back on this phone. It takes the exact same photos to me. Very nice color accuracy, dynamic range. So you pretty much know what you're getting with this phone. Flagship quality. The video was phenomenal on this phone, outdoor and indoors. It just does a great job. So I really love taking photos on here, and one of the reasons why I get this phone, because if you pair it with my 7 Pro, you just have a big phone and then you have a smaller phone that you can take photos with. So it just a really nice, you know, device to take photos on. So overall, just phenomenal image quality on the 13 mini. Let's talk about battery life. That is my next favorite thing about this phone. And battery life has gotten a nice little upgrade. So this phone can do well over 6 hours. That was the issue with the 12 mini. Screen on time was like 4 hours and 30 minutes, which is not really that bad for a smaller phone. Because when you get a smaller phone, you do have to sacrifice for battery life, and that is perfectly understandable to me. But this phone, you do not have to sacrifice for battery life. It actually lasts like a normal phone, so you can easily get 6 hours and 30 minutes of screen on time, which is fantastic for the size of this phone. I think that's largely due to Apple's A15 chip and just the battery specs. I believe we did get a battery spec upgrade, but I really think it's just the chip optimization here. You do have a 2438 milliamp battery, 18 watt charging on here, and then we have your MagSafe wireless charging that charges at 15 watts, and then we also have our standard wireless charging as well. So battery life is phenomenal on here. So if you really want better battery life, I think the 13 mini is definitely a nice upgrade, but it's really hard to sell people on this phone if you already have the 12 mini, because, like, you know, it's just a hard sell. So you would have to get like a nice trade-in deal or something like that. But yeah, so I think battery life is just great on here. Definitely solved the problem that the 12 mini had. You have stereo speakers on this phone, which sound amazing. I think some of the best stereo speakers you can get on a compact device. It might be the Asus, not the Asus, but the Zenfone 8 might have slightly better speakers or louder speakers. I really wish I can do a comparison. So just phenomenal speaker quality on here, crystal clear, great bass quality, just super full. It really sounds on par with the standard 13. I might do like a speaker test to see if we can spot the difference, but they all kind of sound the same to me. So yeah, so that is pretty much it, guys. Be sure to let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in the next one.